All right, take 517 for my first YouTube live stream. It's Erin Smith of the Starters Club. Hopefully this works. I'm trying something new. Wanted to jump on YouTube and record a live version of Think Like an Entrepreneur Thursday, even though it's Monday, but I didn't get mine up last week, so I thought I'd record it today because I want to talk about building your business from nothing. So if you don't subscribe to my YouTube channel, come head on over. It's youtube.com/the starters club. I help business owners go from idea to profitable business. I have 5 six-figure businesses now under my belt. I've sold 2 of them, selling off a third, but I have a lot of experience when it comes to business. I run the Entrepreneur Summit, which I help business owners grow, and of course the Starters Club now. And I love helping people build. So Think Like an Entrepreneur Thursday, I got to get in the role, is where we talk about the mindset shift of going from an employee to an entrepreneur. I think it's really important that you understand a lot about what it takes to build a business and grow a business. And today I specifically want to talk about how you build a business from nothing. All right. And my first business, I started 12 years ago now. God, I can't believe it's been that long, but it was about 12 years ago. I started a pet sitting business of all things. It was going to be actually just for a few months. We never intended it to build into anything. And it was one of those things, I built it part-time. I started with $600. That's all I would spend to grow it. And it was something simple. It was $300 to LLC the business in the state of Texas. That was one cost. That was 300 of the 600. And the other 300 was getting hosting for a website, printing out flyers. We did it old flippin' school. I mean, this was 12 years ago. And then my first ring at Google AdWords. That was like where I very, very first began. And honestly, I didn't even ramp up to spending all of that money. It took a few months to get through it. And then slowly, as the business grew, I reinvested and reinvested. So I want to talk about a few tricks to understand what it takes to build a business from nothing. A lot of times people feel they need a lot of money, and it's really going to depend on the business. A lot of money is going to let you go faster, but it also can make you be a little more reckless because you don't have this, oh my gosh, I only have $5. What am I going to do with it type of thing? I have to be more creative. I've seen a lot of startups who get great investments blow that money on insanely stupid things, especially some marketing techniques. So sometimes starting from a very small beginning can actually be better for you, can actually be good. So here are some ideas when it comes to that. First things first, when it comes to building a business, I'm going to tell you, you have got to be willing to do what no one else is willing to do. And that's how successful entrepreneurs stand. And that's the difference between entrepreneurs who stand and other businesses who fail. It is not, sometimes it's about ideas, sometimes it's about lack of resources, but it's honestly determination and what you're willing to do. So you can start from nothing. You just have to get creative. You have to build. You have to understand these things because you've got to want to do this. The beautiful thing for you is, and this has even changed from 12 years ago when I started my business, is that you have access to literally any type of training you could ever dream of. Google allows you and YouTube allows you to learn about anything that you could ever possibly want. So, you've got to say, all right, SEO is what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn how to build a website. That's what I did. I didn't know how to build a website, but I just looked up tutorials. I literally hired my first employee, came home and Googled, how do I hire an employee? And it's all at your access. It's just a matter of, are you going to do it? Are you going to go in and day out and do this and fail and figure out why you failed? And so the website is definitely a must. You got to get a website. You've got to get some sort of social media presence. It doesn't have to be everywhere and everywhere or anywhere and everywhere. Thank you. Just got a Starbucks delivered to me. But you do have to start in one place and grow. All right. So that is one place to start. You got to get those pieces in place. If you have a product, you can do things like drop ship. I mean, you can get extremely creative. If you want to start a t-shirt business, there's sites out there that allow you to design the t-shirt and then they print it and send it to you as people order. So there's all these different ways that you can get, it's going to depend on your product, right? If we're going to cover online business, You got to have that website. You got to have some sort of product. There is going to be some sort of out money. You're hosting, just depending on what you have for the product, where you need to host that, how you're going to do that, an email marketing system. I don't want to say for absolutely $0, but there can be a very minimal cost when it comes to building your business. So you don't have to have, $5,000-$10,000 in the bank to grow. You can have a couple $100 and some massive tenacity behind that, and you can grow. Again, depending on your business, you can go old school like we did. You can walk flyers around. I mean, it completely works. It's how we got a lot of our initial client base before we actually started growing big. And it was pretty amazing. Find Facebook groups. Find where your clients are, your potential clients are, and join Facebook groups. The beautiful thing is Facebook groups, sorry, I'm spilling, are now not just, they're not just like worldwide big groups. You can do local groups. You can do all kinds of different groups and get involved in those and start to connect in those. And again, it's a great way to build. You can do chats and forums. That's another way I built for free, was getting active in local forums. It was really more of a way to meet people than build my business. I had just moved here and I used it as a way to connect with people in the area. And oh, by the way, I happen to have a business. Networking is another powerful way. Get involved in your community. This doesn't, some of the groups do cost money, but some of them don't. But the key is not just bouncing from group to group for freebies. It's about connecting with just a couple groups and getting to know those people. You got to do what's right for you, get the right fit of people. Don't just go to go. But these are all different ways that you can truly build from nothing. Another great way to start from nothing is advice I've been given by other business owners, and that was find people on your team who are willing to take a cut. Maybe they understand you don't have money right now, but they're willing to take a cut of your business to grow. So what I mean by that is, maybe you want a great accountant on board. Maybe you need a lawyer on board. I would recommend getting advice from a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, nor do I play one on TV, but all of those things, you can connect with these people and say, hey, listen, I don't have any money right now, but would you take an X percentage of my business if you can help? And you'll want a lawyer to get those contracts in place as you're giving away pieces of your business. But it's another way around the system in order to develop when you don't have a lot of money. The beautiful thing is money is not the one thing. Like before, it used to be a complete game stop. It was what stopped you before. Now it doesn't have to be that. There's so many different creative ways. These are just literally what I've given you are, I'm just looking through my list here, just a few of them. The key is you have to be very crystal clear about who you're serving. If you're very limited on budget, you cannot try to go into 5 to 6 different user groups and try to build in all these different areas. You have to be crystal clear and focused. I was just reading Why the Mighty Fail, I think it is by Jim Collins, and he talks about the flywheel. And the great businesses, even when they start to venture into other areas, their flywheel, their one big thing is so consistent and so big that they can it's in such a cycle that they can walk away from it. And I think the key to building, especially when you're so limited on resources, you have to hone in and be crystal clear about who you serve, how your product helps them. And that way you can be very resourceful with your time in where you're hanging out, where you're finding them, and where you're building. So this is my live first episode of Think Like an Entrepreneur Thursday on a Monday, but hey, we're trying this out on YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I do these pretty much every week. I also have other tutorials about building and starting a business. So if you are if you're under the first 3 years of your business, or you're in a position where you are trying to transition, maybe get more online, you're an offline business right now, you're trying to build that online presence, this is the perfect spot for you, because we'll have all kinds of different ways to grow your business. So make sure you subscribe. I'm not promising all of these are going to be live, but thought I'd try this out today for my next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, it's Erin Smith of the Starters Club. I believe everybody's got an start a business, but you just got to get started.